Hi, Libra friends. This is a reading. What is it today? July 17th, 2025. I've had Libra in my head all day at work, so I thought, right, let's do a reading today for our Libra friends. So, hello, welcome in. Thank you for watching my video. I was meditating on the cards and I just felt called to pull them straight away before reading. So we've got the Celtic Cross here, and these are my Le Tarot deck, which I'm really enjoying at the moment. The artwork is really wonderful. And I'm also learning a little bit of French as well as we go, which is always good. So starting off here with the Two of Pentacles. It looks like you're going in a new direction here. You've got something to work on. You've got something to focus on, something that you're manifesting. And it looks like the energies that you've been putting out there have met something in the physical, something in the 3D. So this is a really wonderful fresh start. All the artwork on the pictures really positive. We've got a playful dolphin there playing with his two pentacles. So it looks like you've got some balance, you've got things to be working on, and all is going well. But as you know, the significator is always crossed. And this time it's crossed with the Hermit. Got a nice hermit crab there. So he's obviously in his shell, in the darkness. He's having an inner experience, which is what the hermit brings us. But if you notice, his focus is on the glowing stars outside. So even though life calls us to go within sometimes and seek higher wisdom, higher learning, maybe dabble in a bit of philosophy and a real high-minded thinking, it looks like that energy, that major arcana, is getting in the way of maybe your daily life, of what you're trying to crack on with your Two of Pentacles. So it's actually part of your balance. As we go through our day to day, we do have to focus on the nitty gritty of life. We have to focus on what we're manifesting, but also we have to pay attention to when these deeper times, these waves of depth come upon us, because there's obviously a reason. There's a reason for you to go within at the moment. There's a reason for you to seek a bit of solitude, have a bit of thinking time. The Hermit can also give us an awareness of our own mortality and the cycles of time, the cycles of life, death, rebirth, and so on. So there's a real kind of deeper edge to you at the moment, and we don't want you to be distracted from either. So it's kind of yours to juggle if you wish. Now, covering all of this at the top of all of this, we've got the Three of Pentacles. So more pentacles, more for you to be getting on with. And it's possible that this three has come just in the nick of time, because this is about collaboration. So if you're struggling to find a bit of balance, to find your focus, and to kind of stick to what you're doing day to day, instead of the Hermit wanting you to go inside, this indicates to me that there are others around you who you can ask for assistance with your manifestation. Whatever it is you're trying to bring into life, you're trying to progress along your path. You've made a start, it's going well. I really hope you're noticing the signs from the universe that it's going well. And now you can expand even further. You can go further along your path. There are others around you to help. And it's kind of all plain sailing, but realize it may not feel like plain sailing, because at the root of all of this, we've got the Tower. The Tower is another major arcana. I think the Tower, not existence, but the emergence of the Tower is maybe what's caused you to go into hermit mode here, because the Tower is a really deep experience, and it can come quite suddenly as well. It's like the man-made structures that we have inside our minds. they're not always fit for purpose. And as we move through our lives and we go to deeper levels, higher levels, the things that we've built up for ourselves are not always fit for purpose anymore. We need to kind of break out of the shell and create anew. So the tower isn't meant to be stressful. Sometimes it can be. It can be a case of, do you know what? I have absolutely had enough of this. I will not go another day like this. Sometimes it's about other people's man-made structures. For instance, you may have a lot of pressure, say from family. Our family's always done this, our family's always done that. But actually, your soul has been trying to break free and do your own thing for a long, long time. If you look at the very top there, the lid has been blown off the top. Yeah, we've got a storm, we've got the crashing seas. So what this is a kind of, it's a breakdown mentally of ideas and perspectives that do not serve us on a deeper level, on our soul level. And it's also a rush of emotions because we've been holding on for so long, maybe trying to make something work, trying to please everybody, when actually we're reaching this point where, no, I'm sorry, what matters to me is this tiny light inside. You see the little light at the very top there? This is the light of the soul. This is the soul's knowledge, the journey of the soul as it goes on its path to ascension. And so what I'm feeling here is that you're having a major breakthrough here. You're going in a new direction in your life. It's all very positive. You do have some inner work to do. You have a bit of inner reflection, inner honesty, but also really cherishing who you are, your individuality, your sovereignty. There's an old saying, we can't make an omelette without cracking eggs. Well, you really can't. And the eggs that we crack are sometimes historical, ancestral binds that are holding us back. If you look up, you've got all this brightness to come. The path that you're going on, you've got this little bit of dark energy here, which you're working through. And then the path that you're coming on is so light. It's so promising. Now, your past influences, I realize that some readers have these two positions the other way round. I'm happy to show you my tarot book if anyone's bothered. I've been reading tarot since 2001, and I have been taught that this position here is past influences, things that are on their way out, things that need acknowledging, thanking, accepting. You have had to be extremely balanced. You've had challenges on you that potentially could have closed down your heart. Sometimes we get hurt in life, and as we're moving through that pain, we might decide to ourselves, I'm never going to get hurt again. Nothing's ever going to affect me like that again. But actually, the challenge of life is that you keep your heart open. You keep your cups flowing. See, she's pouring the water from one cup to another. Love has its own energy, and universal love, spiritual love, self-love, all of these things must keep flowing. You are an animal. As you see with the mermaid there, she's got half of herself on land and half of herself in the water. You are a being of light and love as well as flesh and bone. And sometimes the challenges we face in life can kind of fracture that a little bit out of the harmony of being a single sovereign being. So you've had a challenge on you lately to kind of keep pushing through, keep loving, try and have some faith that love is round the corner. There's always more love, and you are reaching a place of harmony. I feel like I'm preaching to the converted here, and because this is showing as a past position, you have actually kind of had that experience. You've had that lesson. This is another major card. Temperance is huge. It's all about your inner harmony. And it's about consciously choosing to keep loving, keep feeling, keep living. Because it's showing as a past influence, I think what the cards are asking you to do here is kind of give yourself a little pat on the back that you've had that challenge, you've had this lesson. And once you kind of go through temperance, you don't really need to go through it again because you have made that conscious choice. But I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to say there's no more challenges ahead. Obviously, there are. But for you on a soul level, you've already gone through that one major challenge that could have basically put you down and made you close your heart to the rest of your life. So this is enormous. Okay, Libra, give yourself a pat on the back that you have consciously chosen to walk forwards and let this big experience of yours move on its way out. Now, what you've got coming in is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is about reaching a stage where you've kind of done everything that you can do. Like, say you're in a relationship, you've given your partner absolutely every opportunity to connect with you on an intimate level. You've broached every subject that you wish to discuss with them. You've shared every side of your vulnerability and your love. And you've kind of reached a point where there's actually nothing left that you can do other than be yourself, love this person the way that you say you do, love yourself the way that you say you do, and just allow for what's to come next. Sometimes we, without maybe realizing, we do control a lot of our relationships. And the truth is, nobody can be controlled. You know, you can't control anyone else in your relationships. Nobody can control you. And I'm sure I would hear you say that with quite a fierceness, that nobody controls you. Well, the other people around you are allowed to feel the same. So at some point in our relationships, instead of the try, and work, we actually just have to stop and allow everybody to be. You know, this isn't quite the same as if you love somebody, let them go. I'm not saying that you should let anybody go, but what you are being challenged to look at and let go of is control. Okay, control of how things are going to turn out. You're dealing with other people, and we're all growing and evolving and shifting from day to day. We've actually got to allow everyone around us to do the same. Yeah. We would want to be heard, you know, say we've gone through some major experiences, which you have. Yeah, nobody's taken that away from you. And you're kind of coming back out into the light, which is amazing. You've also got spiritual guidance around you. But the challenge here is to relinquish control of what comes next. Just love. Be love. Be loving. Allow yourself to be loved. And relinquish any control of how things go from here. You know, be like water. I know you're not a water sign, Libra, but you've had all these challenges, and because you've had the challenge of temperance, which is connecting with your emotions and allowing love to continue to flow through your body. Not necessarily romantic love. This is a much deeper spiritual, universal love. Your heart is staying open. And because your heart is staying open, it's time for you to relinquish control on the outcome. Okay, nobody knows what tomorrow is going to bring. If you notice here, all the jellyfish are upright. Yeah. And they're kind of supporting and following the scuba swimmer there. The sea is calm. The sky is calm. This is a really positive image of allowing yourself to flow through emotions as a sovereign being while not controlling any of the other beings around you. And because you've kind of relinquished control, you've let your grasp relax and slip a little, actually all of these jellyfish are following the scuba diver. They know that this person has gained a bit of wisdom and is leading them towards the light and towards wisdom. Do you see? The swimmer is going towards the moonlight and everyone else is following. So this is, it's a bit of a rite of passage, the Eight of Cups, because, you know, we all get a bit insecure. We all get a bit fearful. We all worry about losing loved ones. And what if, you know, someone's maybe gone a bit quiet lately? Does that mean they've lost interest? Like, oh my God, oh my God. What the universe does not want you to do is panic and kind of grasp and grab everyone around you. Like, do you love me? Do you want me? Just relax. You are loved. You are held in very high spiritual regard, having gone through temperance. So this should be quite a pleasurable experience for you. And once you have relinquished that control and allowed things to unfold as they naturally should, that gets easier and easier and easier, and you will just be in the flow. So there's always a cycle here. You've got to allow this to move out to allow this to move in. And that's usually a conscious decision. And I'm sure you're going to have no worries with that whatsoever. What's also happening with you on a bit of a deeper level here is the Ace of Cups. So this is linking in with the Temperance, because you've chosen to kind of move on, move through this really kind of deep, soulful journey that you've been on. There is a rush of universal love on its way to you if you're not feeling it already. Now, this universal love is going to help you with the Eight of Cups, because you should be feeling so full of kind of confidence, self-assurance, knowing that you are who you are, you've been through what you've been through, and nothing's really going to hurt you in the future like it has before. This love comes out of nowhere. It's to fill you up so that you can move forward with your own cup of love extremely full. Okay? You don't need anybody. Pardon me. That was confirmation burp, by the way. The Ace of Cups fills us up, you know. How can we be giving and loving and filling everyone else up around us if we're not full ourselves? So the universe is coming along to fill you up. And this can be in any form, you know. It could be that you keep happening to have the sunshine on your face. Maybe there's the same birds that you feel are kind of tweeting at you every morning. Yes, they are. Obviously, this is a seascape here. I don't know if you're connected to the sea, if you find a lot of peace there, but maybe you're going to see some signs, you know, maybe your favorite shells or stones are waiting for you on the beach. Maybe you feel harmony when you're by the sea. I do feel there's a bit of a connection here, but it's not a necessary one at all. Sorry. It's not a necessary one at all. What this is energetic. This is pure love from the universe on its way to you for you to do whatever you want with, but just make sure that you're filled up and you're not trying to control anything. Trying to grab onto love is, it just doesn't work, you know. It's like a slippery fish. You're trying to grab and close your hand and it just keeps slipping through. It's the same thing. We need to let love flow. It flows through us, and as it flows through us, it fills us up, but it never depletes itself. There's always an infinite amount of universal love available to you at any time. All you have to do is choose to accept it. So there's some really lovely affirmations that you can do around that, such as, thank you, universe. I open myself to your constant stream of universal love. So it is. Anything like that, whatever works for you, whatever works for you. But that is with you on a deeper level. Now, people, this position here is views of others. So this is kind of what people are seeing when they're viewing you. And it can give an indication of the kind of responses that you might get from them lately. And what we have here is the Page of Cups. Page of Cups can often be our kind of first lesson in self-love. In my old tarot cards, this is the story of Narcissus in Greek mythology, and it's about the lesson. So obviously he goes to what is it, the local pond in the forest, and he sees just this absolutely beautiful face, and he's absolutely mesmerized. He can't look away, and it turns out he's actually looking in a pond at his own reflection. Now, obviously, modern day research would give us different values and meanings attached to that word. Narcissist now is not so much about self-love and self-appreciation. There's control and selfishness. So this is for you to see what resonates with. So for me, the Page of Cups is you're being viewed as someone who is starting to love themselves, basically, starting to just have this little spark of, do you know what? I need to take care of myself first. It's possible because we've got a bit of control here, and we've got the Tower and the Hermit. So some sort of crisis or breakdown has led you to go within. Obviously, there's a temptation here that if we spend too much time alone, we might become narcissistic. We might become controlling. We might become someone who only cares about themselves. So again, this is about balance. It's all about balance. You know, everything is relative. Sometimes you are the most important person in the world, and nothing matters more than your well-being. But then there are other times when what matters more is the well-being of the people around you. But that doesn't mean that we can control anything. What we do is we love without force. We love without pressure. We give love without expectation, without condition. Yeah. We give love without needing any kind of ego stroke that, oh my God, you're so loving. We all need you so much. We all want you so much. It's up to you what resonates here, but people around you are seeing that there is a kind of new focus of you on yourself. And if you look here, this is like a tiny spark of light in the darkness there. This is a tiny, tiny little single-celled light being under the sea in a very, very dark place. But if you look, you can see the kind of the action marks here. This is rising up. So you learning to love yourself is going to raise you up out of the darkness, and people are seeing that you're witnessing that. I really hope you're getting some honest support from your loved ones at the moment. If not, and this is quite a solitary experience for you, that's okay, because often the deepest experiences that we go through as souls, they are solitary anyway. So don't worry. If you're doing this alone, then well done to you. You're being really, really strong. You are going in the right direction. You do need to love yourself. You do need to look after yourself. We all do. I didn't want that to come out wrong, like I'm telling you what you need. I'm sure you know exactly what you need. But we do have self-love here. We just need to be mindful that it doesn't cross the line into narcissism, controlling. I'm obviously not diagnosing anybody. If you do have any worries of mental health or anything like that, please seek the guidance and support of mental health professionals or your GP. But this is what is coming out to me in the cards. So views of others can often indicate how people are seeing us. It's not always reflective of the whole rest of the reading. This, I feel, is a bit reflective. So I do feel that what you're going through, you're not really hiding from anyone. People are aware of where you actually are within yourself. And this little tiny spark here, there's something about pages. It's not the same as the ace, okay? So the Ace of Cups is like, Kaboom! Smack you round the head. Here is a bunch of love from the universe. Yeah, ba ba bam. You can't miss it. You absolutely can't miss it. And this is to fill up your cup, and whatever overflows is obviously for everyone around you. And that goes for all of the signs as well. All of the aces are a rush of energy in that realm. Pages are more like little seeds, and they are for you to kind of gently take and nurture yourself, build on yourself, consciously grow it and take steps to see it come into fruition in your own life. So this is a very delicate little seed here, a tiny, tiny little spark of self-love, literally one drip in the ocean. Yeah. Isn't there a Rumi saying though about, yeah, I might only be one water, but in the same sense, I am the whole ocean. Your love, your self-love can change your whole ocean of your life. Okay? That tiny little spark, that tiny little being can actually impact the rest of the ocean with its light. So, but it's not going to happen by accident because it's so tiny and it's so delicate. It's like the nascent beginnings of something. So we do have the beginnings of self-love here. And I hope that you make the most of that. But that is how people see you. So just be aware of that. What we have coming in for the hopes and fears, we've got the Knight of Wands here. Isn't that great in French as well? Cavalier de Bâton. The Knight of Wands in hopes and fears would say to me that you kind of really want to get moving with your life, but you're not quite sure. It's like, I mean, look at him there. He's standing up. He's got himself his viewpoint because he's like, right, I know where I want to see. I know where I want to be. And if I climb up here, I can see it. But he hasn't moved, you know. He's been there so long that there's flowers growing out of this stick that he's on. And he's just kind of watching. Our hopes and fears are generally interconnected. Usually the thing that we want the most, we've got massive fears attached to it, things that are holding us back. Life does not want you to be held back, okay? But you have free will. This is your choice. Whatever it is you want to get moving with, whatever this new day, this new place you want to go to. Because if you notice, this card is totally different to the rest of them. The environment, the landscape is very different. So the place that you want to find yourself in, your kind of heaven on earth, is going to wait for you until you consciously decide. Pardon me, again, another confirmation burp. I haven't just had a big sandwich and some crisps, I promise. This will wait for you until you consciously decide that your fears will not be holding you back any longer. It's mind over matter, you know. It's part of growing up, like really growing up, maturing, is recognizing that we do have fears that hold us back. We have, sometimes it's limiting beliefs, sometimes it's how we talk to ourselves, like, yeah, keep looking, love, you know, you can only dream, you know. You can actually see the wistful look in the salamander's eyes there, you know. He's like, oh, if only I could be over there. It's like, well, you actually could be, you know. You could have used that boat behind you whenever you wanted. Can you see that bit of boat behind him? He could have used that whenever he wanted to actually go to the place he's looking at, but he just looks instead. So you have got what it takes to get where you want to go. Okay? Don't ever doubt that. You have got what it takes, because if you didn't, you wouldn't have that as your hope or your dream. Okay? Bit of rationality there, bit of logic. You would not imagine the life that you want if it wasn't achievable. You just wouldn't. You would imagine something else, you know. It could be that you're dreaming of like this amazing new job or going to live somewhere else. Because you wish for it and because you hope for it, the universe says it is possible, but you've got something that's holding you back. So I think this inner work that you're doing with the Hermit, And obviously, you're probably still recalibrating yourself from the Tower. And you've got hard work because you're focused on your pentacles at the moment as well. Maybe you're saying, oh, you know, my dreams can wait. I've got to focus on all this. Your dreams can wait, but isn't it a good idea to go for them? You know? Because whatever that is waiting for you. Whatever it is achievable, it's possible. You have the energy for it, you have the drive, you have the wherewithal to achieve this dream, but you need to recognize where your own fears are holding you back, okay? I feel it's something to do with how you talk to yourself. And what we have here as the final outcome is the Eight of Swords. This is connecting straight back to your hopes and fears, okay? Whatever it is you're wishing for, it is completely achievable. But I think, so you've got another 8 here as well. I think some work needs doing on boundaries that you've placed around yourself. The Eight of Swords often speaks of a mental prison, and it's one that we're not always aware of, and it's one that we sometimes think we can't get out of. So if you just notice the imagery of this, the bird has got a blindfold on, so he can't quite see what's happening, and the arrows that are around him, they're actually only around his front half, which is what he can't see, but the whole of his behind is free. So he is trapped in this spot, this very, very tiny spot. He's totally trapped there. He can't even move 1 foot either side, front or back, anything. He can't move his feet at all. He's not even trying to move his wings because the arrows are holding his wings clipped in as well. But there's actually nothing behind him, but he doesn't know that. This mental prison is a self-constructed mental prison. It can also speak of mental prisons that other people put us in. And I wonder if that's what your Tower card is connected to as well. When we're talking about like family obligations, duties, things like that, it's possible that you have had, I'm not going to say imaginary because that's taking away the gravity of our lives, you know. Family is so important. We come from the beliefs of our parents, basically. What our parents and families decide is reality, yeah? But actually, each generation that comes through, we decide our own reality. Our parents had the chance to decide their reality when it was their time, but they've since then constructed that reality and brought us into it. I feel there's some kind of heavy family influence here or heavy partner influence, and the stuck and trapped feeling that you may feel you're experiencing. I feel like I want to say to you, it's mostly in the mind. It doesn't have to actually be in reality. I don't believe you are physically trapped somewhere. You can go. The Knight of Wands, sorry about that. The Knight of Wands also speaks of moving, like traveling, moving house, literally go into a whole new location. And I wonder if you're holding yourself back from embracing this new life because you have this conceptual prison, this conceptual cage around you. If you look at how the arrows are all positioned, they're kind of like the front of a cage, like prison bars. Wow. You've got some really deep cards here that speak of freedom, that speak of self-knowledge, self-discovery, self-worth, self-love, adventure, consciously choosing to move forwards with life and keep loving, and maybe the dream of a whole new environment for you, a new world for you. So Libra, do let me know in the comments how this resonates for you in your life. Sorry, I'm just positioning the phone there. Do let me know how this resonates for you in your life. I'm just going to get out the mystical wisdom cards here just to get one last message. See if there's anything Spirit wants to add to the tarot there. But I wish you well. I really do. I think there's some really positive messages here. And 2 cards have just literally jumped out. What do we have? Aren't these pictures beautiful? Animal bond, stand up for all animals, and good fortune, invite magic in. Whoops, sorry. I wonder if some of your universal love that's trying to come in through the Ace of Cups is through animals. Okay, look around you. Just start to pick up day to day, like a cat's coming towards you, you know, your neighbor's cat. A dog's kind of running up to you. You're seeing people on dog walks. Is there a bird that seems to be always on a tree, or you're always hearing a bird? Anything. You can speak out to the universe and ask for animal signs, and you can also generate your own love and send it out to the animal world. But there's something about animals for you at the moment. It's going to bring you so much peace and strength as well, because you, like the message says, stand up for all animals. There's something about you being a protector and the wisdom that is gained from that. So I'll just put that down. And lastly, we've got the good fortune, invite magic in. Now this is connecting to the temperance for me. There's magical elements to life. You know, like I said before, love has its own energy. And we are the bridges, humans are the bridges between solid and spirit, light and dark, heaven and earth, the sea and the land. We are the bridges between all of those things. And there is good fortune everywhere. You know, look around you. Some of us have been brought up in a poverty mindset. Half the world is in a poverty mindset, and actually there's so much abundance out there. Look, you can see she is the bridge. The rainbow goes directly through her. Invite magic in, Libra. Invite magic in. It's there. The universe is waiting to fill you up with love, okay? And if people don't see that your light is trying to emerge, just let them do what they're doing. You can't expect everybody to understand the deeper processes that you're going through. So back to the 8 of Cups again. This challenge is for you to swim the way you're swimming, follow your light, and just trust that everyone around you will kind of fall in behind you, yeah? But you can't control anyone else's journey, anyone else's learning or level of consciousness or connection to spirit or anything like that. You are a sovereign being. Don't hold yourself back from the love that is waiting for you, okay? I hope that resonated, Libra. Do let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for your time today, everyone. Much love and peace to all of you, and see you on the next one.